Good afternoon. Let me welcome you on behalf of Holland Hospital to our annual Employee Service Awards. I'm Dale Souders and I'm the president of the hospital. And today I'm especially privileged to highlight the fact that this year we have 17 award winners who have served a minimum of 60,000 hours. It's a privilege to serve alongside employees that have devoted so much of their time and really so much of their lives to Holland Hospital. I came here in 1999 and I've had the opportunity to serve as president for the last 12 years. But that's not even half of what the folks that we are honoring today have served. You know, in these last 30 years, you've obviously seen a lot of changes. Our numbers have grown. Our facility has changed multiple times, and the complexity of the care that we render has continued to evolve, and the success fundamentally comes from the continuity and the consistency that you have provided. We have multiple departments, and there are a number of pieces of this puzzle that need to fit together and work effectively. Let me thank you for your excellent work and for becoming our face and for becoming that consistent quality care that we are so proud and that I am so proud to talk about in this community. Collectively, this day represents our gratitude for your commitment and your contribution. Thank you very much.
I started in '73 on the medical surgical floor in 1 West. Well, back then we had to wear our nurses' caps and white, either pantsuit or dress, white hose, white shoes, and they encouraged us to keep those shoes white, and so they had to be polished. Back when Gerald R. Ford was the president, it was tulip time, and they said Susan Ford would be coming for tulip time, and I believe that they knew it was the president but didn't want to say that, so it was under the pretense of Susan. And so one day when I was covering the lunch hours by myself, 2 Secret Servicemen came and questioned me about the hospital, whether we had a blood bank, if Susan came in, where she would go. So that was pretty exciting. I like what I do. I'm never bored with my job. There's always something to learn. It's very independent. The anesthesia group is great to work with, and my coworkers are also very flexible and great to work with.
I started at Holland Hospital in 1973, and I did, in the food service, I delivered patient trays. Lots of changes have happened here through the years. I remember each part of it where the building of the tower went up from the 3rd floor, and just all the different, watching it has just been amazing where we are today. I like talking with the patients. I like just seeing where they're at, even though it's in the registration process that I worked with the patient, but I like to hear their stories. I like helping people, so I like to be able to set things up for them. I love working at Holland Hospital. It's just been a wonderful place to work. I love the people, the employees. I love the patient part of it, talking with patients. It's just been a real good fit for me.
Well, I started working at Holland Hospital in 1970 as a co-op student. Everything was manual, nothing was on the computer. So all of the charges from every patient bill had to be filled out on a big, huge ledger, like 32 columns, you know. And then each bill had to be balanced with that ledger, you know, and that's a lot of writing, all done manually. It just seemed like we never got really caught up when we were doing it manually. You know, you were always, you know, I had a big pile of work to do the next day. The last 44 years, I've met several different really neat people, and it's been, you know, fun working here. I have made a lot of friends here, and some of the ones that I've made years ago I still keep in contact with. So I like working here. I mean, it's a great place to work.
I first started here when I was in high school, so after school every night I came here and filled in for the 3 to 11 person so they could have their lunch and their supper, and they pretty much taught me the ropes. What I remember is, this is so much fun. I can't believe they're paying me to do this. Probably 10 years ago I moved into the customer service cashier area, so dealing directly with the public. People are so interesting and most people are so very nice. I had one lady call me one time. She was very sweet, very calm, and all of a sudden she wasn't on the phone and she was sobbing, and she said, "I just found out I had cancer." And just things people share with you that are just, it's almost a privilege that they confide in you. I worked part-time for many years, which was fabulous when you're raising a family, so it just has been a very good, solid, caring organization to work for.
Well, it was in 1975, and I was fresh out of nursing school. My intention was to start in med-surg, and I really did not have a particular desire to work in OB, but that's what was open, and I liked it, so I've always stayed in OB. They had us wearing white scrubs, dresses. They were dresses. You did not deliver in a nice room like this. You delivered in a delivery room. We would ring a little bell down the hall when it was time to bring babies out to eat. I like doing bedside nursing. It's my favorite part of nursing, interacting with the patients. I feel like it's a very special moment between the parents. And you know, they're in tears and happy, and it's fun to be there with them and to help them at that time, but I try not to interfere too much and let it be the two of them with their baby. The feeling of being overwhelmed with joy is just indescribable. And it's a pleasure to be able to share that with them.
I've always wanted to be a nurse ever since I was younger, and it was a dream come true. I worked as a medical assistant, a nurse's aide, and then I became the LPN, and then an RN, so that was my dream. I think one of my favorite memories is when I had to work holidays, my husband would take my kids here, and they loved to come to the cafeteria because they could choose the foods that they wanted to eat, and they got to spend the holiday even though Mom was working. Even now, it's neat to see my patients in orthopedics. They've had a joint replacement done. They come back for another one. Because our patients in surgery, we don't see very long. And so if you've seen them before, it's nice to see them come back having had such a good experience. The staff that I work with is a great group of people. We have a lot of new, younger people coming in, which gives some of us older ones a little bit more oomph and a little bit of encouragement that they have ideas that we maybe didn't have. We've got great people here.
I started doing general x-ray, switched over to mammography. I do the quality control, make sure all the equipment is running efficiently. I do mammograms, clinical breast exams, breast ultrasounds, breast biopsy procedures. There's a lot of breast cancer in my family, and just kind of keeps me motivated to improve things. When you've seen a patient through a mammogram and ultrasounding a potential problem and then having them come back and having to have the biopsy, you do get a rapport with them. A lot of times patients are getting through a difficult time, especially if they are facing the possibility of breast cancer. So I just like helping them through that process. I am proud of all the years of service that I've done. Not many people can say that they've worked in one place for as long as I have and still enjoy it. So I'm happy to serve.
I started in 1979, and I was approximately 2 years out of college. It was my very first full-time job when I started at Holland Hospital. I did a variety of jobs as the years went on and a variety of shifts. Pretty much everything in the medical records department I did at some point in time. And now I'm doing transcription. I love to listen to the details of the doctors, what they're dictating. Like they dictate operative notes, and I have to try and imagine myself what they're doing, the tools they're using. I feel bad or wonder how that person got to that point. I'm interested in the history, sometimes how they came to have the problem that they have or what could prevent it. I would say the thing that has kept me here all these years is I really like what I'm doing. I feel productive and I feel like it makes a difference.
I was actually working at Hart and Cooley in high school, and I saw the ad in the paper for Holland Hospital, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a shot. I don't know that I would call it an IT department. At that time, I actually reported to the vice president, which was a little awkward for me to start with. That whole entire IT department was 3 people, and today it's over 50. I think the Holland Hospital culture is very supportive. It's very friendly. I think that it allows you to progress as much as you want to do. You know, the systems we implement, the support we provide, helps the clinicians do their jobs. And every day, it's how can we help them do what they need to do. You know, 30 years is a long time. And for me to hold this position, I'm honored to be here. I'm very fortunate that Holland Hospital supports me.
I had my first child in '77, so he was 2. And so then an emergency room opening came, and I worked part-time days there. First day at work, I remember I was chewing gum. That's what I remember, and the head nurse came and said, no, 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 you need to get rid of the gum. And then an opening came in financial services full-time, and I took that. I loved it. I learned a lot, and it was something that I was really, really interested in. There was always something new that I was learning, and I have met wonderful people that have continued to be my friends, very much like a family. I remember when my daughter was 2, there was a little girl that she was hit by a car, and they worked so long and so hard thinking they could save her life, and it didn't, you know, and it's just, you relate those things to your own life then, and you realize how quickly those things happen. But I enjoyed working in the emergency room. I enjoyed the clinical part, and I enjoyed caring for people.
Oh, I wanted to be a nurse since 4th grade. I had a little surgeries here in the hospital. I just so admired the nurses here, you know. I thought, what a cool place to be. I work on OB with the moms and babies. We're always going to have moms having babies, and it's a very fun floor to work on. I take care of the couplet, the mother and the baby together. It's my couplet to take care of, and my nursery nurses, my support, and my rest of the team here supports me in the rest of it. Yeah, we do a lot of teaching with our clients, a lot of supporting them, you know, enabling them to do their job better at home. There's very often those I remember you moments. I am just surprised sometimes because I don't always remember them, but they remember me. Even in the store, you were my nurse. I'm like, I was. Wow, that's cool. How's your little one doing? You know, it's kind of, yeah, it's very cool. It's a wonderful job. You know, how much better can that be?
I worked on a medical surgical floor for about a year and then moved to ICU and spent a good share of my career delivering babies. I was working in the birth center and had an opportunity to teach at Hope College. It was a great experience, and I realized how much I enjoyed teaching at that point. I have a lot of diabetes in my family. My father has diabetes, and grandma and great-grandpa. So I had kept up on the world of diabetes, and there was a position open for a diabetes educator. And knowing how much I loved education, I thought that would be kind of neat to blend my knowledge of diabetes with my love of teaching. I really love my job. I get a chance to meet great people and work with lots of nice people and help them to live healthier lifestyles and manage their disease. Even though I have been here for 37 years, my career has always been interesting. I've been able to learn different things, and that's kept it interesting and fun.
Back in those days, you were either a teacher or you were a nurse. There weren't many other options, and so I chose nursing because I knew I did not want to be a teacher. Started working on med-surg, and then around 86, 87, came here to the birth center, and I've been working here ever since. It was difficult at first, but because I have a very close working relationship with all the people that I work with on the night shift, it was a lot easier. Had lots of support from them. One of the highlights of working here is being able to witness the births of my grandchildren. You know, a lot of first-time moms have lots of questions. When I was practicing as a nurse, you did more one-on-one with them and so on. It's always, you know, when you can tell them that they're doing a good job, being a success at being a mom early on. It's special.
I started at Holland Hospital in 1976 with a co-op program. I was fresh off the farm. I did that for a year, and I came back in 1979 and worked in the radiology department as a X-ray tech, and I've been doing CT since 1983. I met my wife here, so she was a receptionist, and I was a part-time tech in the evening, so this is where we met. The thing I like the most about my job is working with all kinds of different people. You never know who's going to come through the door. You never know what their situation is, their joys, their sorrows. The worst part is finding something and then having to go back in the room and let them go, and then not show it on your face that you may have found something that is going to really change their life. That's a very hard part. I have been very blessed with excellent co-workers. We have worked together, a lot of us, for many years, and we're almost like family. We really enjoyed working with the people that I work with.